Hello, fellow fragrance lovers, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm gonna do a lot of talking. Probably no, I'm gonna try to make it like as succinct as possible. But first and foremost, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who has helped me reach the 600 subscriber mark. I was very excited to have that happen over the weekend. I'm slowly and steadily moving along through my YouTube journey, and some of you have really helped me along the way. I plan to give you shout outs later, but I really do appreciate it. And to that end, I figured, first of all, I wanted to do a little thank you video to thank you for that. But the other thing that's been on my mind for quite a little bit is this kind of discussion that's being sort of circulated around in the fragrance YouTube community, and several of my favorite content creators have been doing a similar type of video lately, which is kind of like the observations they have made from being in the fragrance YouTube community, and some of the positives and negatives, some of maybe the annoying things. So I just wanted to kind of weigh in on that. I've been wanting to do that actually for a long time, before even some other people had done it, and now I'm seeing more and more videos like it. So I feel like there is a need to just vent. Like, I'm not saying that I know everything. I'm not saying that I have a right to criticize anything. I'm just an observer, but I feel like I didn't want to do it too prematurely because I'm still fairly new at the YouTube thing. I only just started, well, it's almost a year. Next month, I think, will be a year. So, but I am a teacher. That's my day job. I'm a high school English and film teacher. And part of my job is I have to kind of gauge what is going on. I have to assess like different personalities and how they work together and different topics, and just constantly like feeling the pulse of what is going on. So I feel like, after spending a year in this world, I can now kind of take a step back and say, like, here's what I see going on. And yeah, so if you'd like to hear my thoughts on some of these issues, stick around. But again, I cannot thank you enough for, helping me to reach this milestone. And of course, if you have not subscribed to me already, I would really appreciate it if you did. Yeah, so let's get started. Oh, by the way, so yes, you may notice that I'm all bleached up. I went back to like my platinum hair because I've been obsessed with the show Pam and Tommy. Is anyone watching Pam and Tommy? I am so sad because we're coming up on the final episode, and I just wanted to go on forever and ever and ever. I know it's like controversial because like she wasn't involved in it or anything, but I have had a Pam Anderson like obsession for a really long time, and this has just like reinvigorated it. And so after seeing, the platinum locks on Lily James, who is so fantastic at playing Pam, I'm like, I want my platinum hair back. So yeah, it's not looking very exciting today though, because we're having weird weather here in, the Philly suburbs. It's like 77 degrees, so it's super warm for this time of year, but it looks like the end of the world outside. It's like blustery and everything, but you don't care about that. Let me just get to what I wanted to get to. So I've been thinking about this a while after kind of, doing research, not just from like watching fragrance YouTube content creators, but I also do watch channels that are about growing channels, right? And certain people who do videos about that and how to, maximize your subscribers and all of that and things to do. And I started learning more and more about the algorithms and different terms that I never even knew existed, like zombie subscribers. So for example, when I first started my YouTube channel, I thought, oh, okay, so to get monetized. Not that that's why I was. So one misconception here. I don't want anyone to think that like the whole reason why I started a fragrance YouTube channel was to like get monetized and make money. But, I have been a perfume obsessed person basically since birth. And I just feel like it's the coolest thing to be able to like share with other people and be a part of a community that like has the same obsession. And I love reviewing things. I love giving my opinion on things. So, you know, it wasn't, but then when I found out like, oh, but there are content creators who can make money from it, I was like, oh, okay, well, that would actually help me just to be able to purchase more things to review, because I'm obviously a teacher who is not rich. So, you know, to do that, to be able to like really give you good recommendations, I obviously have to buy things. I mean, I'm not at the point where people are sending me things. So, wow, I'm sorry, I'm like so long-winded. But anyway, so you know, I learned about things like zombie subscribers where, okay, you could tell a bunch of people, hey, subscribe to my channel, but if they're not actually watching your content, it's not really going to benefit you, because part of the whole like algorithm or what YouTube pushes out is based on like how much people are watching and how long they're watching. So I thought when I first started, like, okay, I have 1,200 Facebook friends, 1,200. And I like know almost all of them personally, because I just know a lot of people, especially through teaching for many years, almost 20 years, right? So I thought, oh, I'll just tell my 1,200 Facebook friends to subscribe to me on YouTube, and there we go, got my 1,000 subscribers. No. When I tell you maybe like 30 of my subscribers came from Facebook, which was super frustrating, because they're like, well, I don't have a YouTube account and I don't want to create one. I don't have a Gmail. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe, you know, but then I realized it's not beneficial to do that anyway. You really want people. So I will say, you know, my 600 subscribers, I feel like I really like have tried to connect with people and really earned them, instead of just being like, oh, you know, or like riding someone's coattails, or just, you know, I don't know, trying cheap ways of getting subscribers. I don't know. I'm really like organically trying to grow. And I've discovered in the end that is the best way to grow. So, yeah, so I've observed a lot of things, and I really, you know, I've seen some trends, I guess, that maybe I'm not a big fan of, but just because I think something doesn't mean that I'm right. I'm not claiming that I know everything, but certain things, I guess, yeah, maybe I just think, like that song in the 90s, things that make you go, There's some things that make me go, So I just wanted to share a couple of those. So first thing is that I've noticed is like coming up with these titles of videos that are clickbait, that are just overly, a lot of times they're overly, I don't know if sexualized is the right term, but they're all about, and they're usually like, and again, I'm not saying anyone who does this is wrong. I get it. Like you know, it will definitely give attention to your channel, but I feel like, what do I have to do? Do I have to make a title that's like perfumes that will make him drool over you and quit his job and, you know, fly you all over the world and make you a sugar baby and and make you get pregnant and make you, like, how many things can you put into with emojis of drooling and hearts and like, I'm like, come on, people, like, how many of these things are you putting in a title to get people to click? Now, I'm not saying that I've never done that, because I definitely have put things in, you know, like the hot girl summer or whatever, like that was popular last year. But like, I feel like that they float around, and it just upsets me when people think like, okay, so there's no way I'm going to be in a relationship with this guy, but if I wear the right perfume, he will like me. There's just something inherently, like, I think perfume is great to enhance attraction. I think that's wonderful. And that is definitely a thing, and pheromones and all of that, definitely. But, like, if you're not a person's cup of tea, to be honest, let's be real, I don't think wearing a certain perfume is really going to change that. And you know, I think smelling good definitely will get you, like, people interested in you. But I would hate to think that you're like, you know, that you're a wonderful person, but you're like looking for ways to get a, you know, get a person to like you specifically by wearing a fragrance. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That just kind of irks me. Like putting the overly, like, make him want you and need you and want to get his hands all over you and get a boyfriend. And, you know, that's not my thing. Yeah, I'm just venting. Wow, I'm just venting. I'm sorry. This is like already too long. Okay. And then, I think the other thing that bothers me probably the most is that in the worlds that I'm in, so, you know, I teach literature and I teach film, and I also, on the side, I am an MC and stage manager for a music venue. So I do the announcements. I'm dealing with people in the music industry all the time, like songwriters, like people who write their own stuff. And so I'm like constantly surrounded by worlds where creativity is rewarded, and it's like a bad thing to copy. I mean, obviously, like with you know, your English classes, if you plagiarize, you know, you could fail. If you're in college and you plagiarize, you could get kicked out of college. So it's just kind of been ingrained in me. I guess that's why I'm more sensitive to like being a little more unique and not like just kind of saying the same things that other people say or copying the same things. But I just feel like in the YouTube fragrance world anyway, I don't know too much about like the other types of YouTube content, but I feel like creativity is not rewarded, and that just bothers me because there are some content creators who I feel like are so creative and they come up with the most like amazing ideas that are so like groundbreaking, but it doesn't translate into like more people watching them. And it's just so frustrating to me because I feel like they're doing things that are just like, I'm like, oh wow, like I wish I would have thought of that type of video to do, you know, that's really cool. But they're not necessarily getting rewarded for it. Whereas like, I feel like a lot of the cliched titles and cliched content is what gets rewarded, and I just find it annoying. So I'm just venting. Again, I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but there's this whole like bandwagony type of thing going on where you just have to like, either you hop on the bandwagon and you do the things that are like being recycled, and you know, to get more attention, followers, whatever, or like you just say like, I'm gonna have integrity and be true and do original things, but maybe I'm not going to be like a super influencer ever. And again, that's not my goal or anything, but I just feel like having to make that choice is like painful. Do you know what I'm saying? I hope you're still with me. I bless your hearts if you are. But again, this is just me like venting a little bit. So those are just some of my thoughts. And then, you know, there's so many different topics within this, and I don't have to go through all of it. Like, as far as like getting sponsorships and getting things sent to you, like, do I wish things were sent to me? Yes, I do. But I would still be honest about it. I've actually only had one thing sent to me, and I will actually do a video about it. They said there was a brand that I reviewed, and I tagged them, and they were very, very kind to me and said that they loved the video, and they reached out and they sent me a sampler set of all of their fragrances. So, and did not ask me to review them, nothing like that. So I would love for that to happen more, but again, like I'm just the type of person, like I would be honest no matter what. I mean, who knows, right? And you know, sometimes like I get it, like I totally get why people want to get money from ad placement or, you know, sponsoring things, or being sponsored by certain things. If it's something that is fragrance related, that makes sense. I am all for it. And I mean, I'm sure if someone offered me some, you know, like, hey, if you do a review of this or product placement of this. So if it's something beauty or fragrance related, I understand that. here's just one more thing I'm gonna like sort of complain about, but you know, sometimes it's like random. Like I'll be watching a fragrance video and it'll say like, oh, review of whatever fragrance. And that's all they mention. Like it's a review of like this hot fragrance. So like I want to know what it's about and I want to watch it. I watch it and they're like, oh yeah, I have the review of this new fragrance that everyone wants to know about. But first, I'm sponsored by, I don't know, what do I have near me that's not related to fragrance whatsoever? I have a, gosh, this is hard. I have a, you want to see the most random thing ever? I have this Back to the Future Playmobil set. By the way, I collect like Playmobil things. So let me tell you about this Playmobil set before I get into the fragrance, because these people at Playmobil are amazing and I've been working with them for so long. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, a Playmobil set does not belong in a fragrance video. Like, it doesn't make any logical sense to me whatsoever. But that's just me. Again, I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just very confused by that whole thing. Like when it's not an item, like if it's makeup, okay, you know, that's like in the beauty realm. Even if it's jewelry or maybe like your you know, shirt, something like that. Okay, like that's fine. But sometimes it's like things that I'm like, why? What? Like, why is that in a fragrance video? Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry. Okay, so the last, oh my God, the last portion of this, I really had good intentions when I sat down for this. So I guess my last point here is I wanted to just give a shout out to some of the content creators that I feel like they are really true to themselves and I really, really appreciate their channels and they inspire me all the time. And I'll put them in the description, but I have to talk about, so one content creator, I just have a list, there's no particular order, but from Abby with Love, I love her. She, I feel like, does some different content. She's like cute as a button. I love British people, so I mean, she's just the cutest thing ever. So definitely check her out. And she has really similar like fragrance profile preferences as me. So I trust, like, when she likes something, I trust it. So the last straw of me making this was one of my favorite content creators is Beauty Meow. Her name is Kristen. And she's one of the ones that actually I started watching early on, like when I started watching fragrance YouTube channels, and she's one of the ones that actually inspired me to create my own channel, because she's just so darn, like, she's intelligent and well-spoken, and you know, she knows, and she totally doesn't give herself enough credit because she's like, no, I'm not an expert on it, but I really do think of her as an authority on fragrance. She has such a wide variety of things, and she does these really cool concept videos called like Scents from a Hat, where she'll pick like an adjective and a type of, and like put them together. Just check out her channel. It's Beauty Meow. But anyway, she was talking about how she was going to do a video about some of these things. And I had commented saying, like, sort of going on a rant. And then she did the video. She just did it. And she mentioned me in it. I was like, oh my God, my name. Like, I was so excited. So thank you very much for that, Kristen. I really appreciated it. But after she did that, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to definitely make the video now. So anyway, the other one, so the first fragrance YouTube person who sort of like discovered me, you know, or like, I was like, oh my God, another fragrance YouTube person, subscribed to me and gave me encouragement, and that is Maria Colette. And she just did the most hilarious video. If you've not seen it, it should be viral, about like kind of the weird things that fragrance YouTubers do. And it's so on the money. It's so great. And I'm not even going to talk about the things that she talked about, because that's kind of what I was going to talk about. Just watch hers, and pretty much everything she said, I was like, oh my God, yes, that's what I was going to talk about when I did mine. So Maria Colette is great. Miss Prissy Baby, we've gotten into these little exchanges, you know, in comments, and I love her videos are hilarious and her editing is so good, but she is so honest. And if you just want someone to like tell it like it is with fragrances, with a fragrance YouTube community, she does not care, you know, like she's not just trying to people please, and I love that. Like, she's not rude either or disrespectful in any way, but she's just so fun to watch. So Miss Prissy Baby, check her out. Super Dacob, or his fragrance channel, Essentially Dacob, like he made another one. Beauty Meow first told me about him. He is like, I don't know how he does not have like 5 billion subscribers, because he is the most like knowledgeable, like historically accurate, descriptive, goes into like the full experience of the fragrance. He is so, so good. So check him out. That's Super Dacob, or Essentially Dacob is his fragrance channel. I have to talk about my girl, Gabby from The Fragrantician, another fragrance YouTuber who is just doing something different. Like, she is very saucy. She is also British. I tend to like really connect with the British YouTube content creators. I don't know. I always wished I was British, so maybe that's why. But she is just so saucy. She's sassy. She puts a lot of like allure into her videos. And again, you know, she talks about things in a different way, and she doesn't just like follow what everybody else is doing. So I appreciate that. The next one, so my girl from Opinionated Sense, Tara Michelle, she's so great. And she's doing really well with her channel, and I really admire her because she is someone who like, again, isn't just trying to follow trends. She gives her honest opinion, and that's why she's called Opinionated Sense. And she just makes me laugh so much, but I love her channel. She keeps it very real, and she does not, I mean, yes, she does, like, we all do the, like, top 10s and things like that, that's fine, but she'll, like, add her own little spin on it, and she's just different, so definitely check out Opinionated Sense. Another content creator who I love because she does have really similar tastes to me, and she made a video about some problems in the YouTube community. Like, I feel like it was months ago. And that is Zerzilla. And she is, again, just really honest. I appreciate the content creators who are really, really honest. It doesn't matter what bandwagon people are on. Like, they like what they like. They don't care about how many subscribers they get. And they're not afraid to like call out the community for doing things that are like a little bit suspect. And she has a great video about that. I don't know the title off the top of my head, but if you go to Zerzilla's channel, I'm sure you'll see it on there. But I love her. I think she's beautiful, and I just love her taste in fragrances, and I love that she's just so honest. Another one I love is Shayna J. There's Shayna J. And she is just like, she's so calm, and she's like calm, and I like to watch her like if I'm getting ready in the morning, because I have to get ready like really early, and her videos are just, she does a lot of like budget fragrances. So if you know, don't have tons of money, like myself, she offers so many, like I found a lot of great things through her. But the funny thing with her is like, we have, for the most part, pretty different preferences. Like, she likes a lot lighter things, and she doesn't like, you know, the masculine type of scents that I do. But it's like, she's so good and she's so honest that like I watch her anyway. And I think that's a mark of a good content creator, is like, even if they like really different things from you, like, you still want to watch their videos. And the last one I wanted to mention, because I literally just discovered her last week, but I'm like, oh, she's so good. And I think she's newer, but her name is Ruby Zion. And oh my gosh, again, her preferences they so far seem to be close to mine. And also she is talking about things that I watched a lot of fragrance YouTube videos. Like, she has mentioned already in the few videos that I watched from her, things I'm like, I've never heard of anyone talking about them before. So I think that's like, to me, that's what makes a great content creator, but for my personal preference. So my parting thoughts are this, for anyone who cares what I think about the fragrance YouTube community, right? I think it's like, just as we kind of like tailor what we like, you know, like our content, kind of like what we want to put out there in the world, and like what our motives are and all of that, like, you're going to be like affected by what you watch. Like what you watch is affected by what you're looking for. So if you are, and I'm not saying that anyone's wrong for any reason that they're watching. If you are watching because you want to know the sense that men think are sexy, that, you know, they're gonna run after you, like, that's fine. That's like what you're watching for. And I might not have content like that, but you know what I mean? Like, I would do it if you want me to. If you're watching because you know, my channel is Limelight Lass, and the reason why I'm Limelight Lass is because I love attention. I love being noticed with my fragrance. So I am looking for channels where, you know, they're talking about things that not everyone knows about, really strong, like those banger fragrances. And I just tend to gravitate toward channels like that, right? You might be really into like aquatics, okay? Like if you are, I'm not the channel for you, because I never talk about aquatics because I don't like them. And I usually don't watch many channels that deal with aquatics, right? So you really have to figure out, like, as a content creator, you have to figure out like what you're pushing out there and why. And when you're viewing the videos, like, do you like funny videos? Like, I love funny, quirky, like kind of weird videos, and I find like the more, like, I find people who are like more, I don't know, I don't want to say mainstream because that sounds like negative, but you know what I mean? Like the girls that are like, that girl, like they're super, like, I'm not super like put together and classy and chic and all of that, right? I'm a mess, but I'll be honest with you, like, I'm a mess. So I like to watch other, I'm not saying that the other content creators that I just mentioned, like, are a mess or anything, but I'm saying, like, they will tell you outright, like, I'm not that prim and proper, like, classy lady. I'm probably not for you if you don't like some quirkiness or whatever, and that's kind of how I feel. So to sum it up, thank you, first of all, for the 600, helping me reach 600 subscribers. I'm really learning to navigate here and watching videos that are about like this topic, or like, you know, how to navigate this whole YouTube thing in the fragrance community. Like, that's been a really important part of my journey. And, you know, just ranting like this, for anyone who wants to hear it, like, if you can't stick with it, I completely understand. I don't know if I could deal with me either, you know what I mean? But I do appreciate it. So I have a lot of really good content coming up for you. I have a lot of things to review that I haven't talked about yet. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be part of the community. I will say, like, the fragrance community, I really don't have complaints about the actual people. Like, I might not be into what they're talking about all the time or whatever, but like, I feel like it's a very nice community of people that really supports each other. And I just, you know, again, I just wish that some of the ones that I watch who are really, like, I feel just unique and really interesting, for them, I want them to get more notoriety, even if they don't want it, like, or even if they don't care about making money or anything. Like, I feel like they deserve to make money. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to share the love. So check out all of the channels I mentioned. If you like anything in the realm of me, I think you would like anything in the realm of them. And let me know also if you have any other, like, favorite YouTube fragrance people. And also let me know, like, if there's anything about the fragrance community that you've noticed, or maybe that irks you, without like names, or I'm not mean, like, I'm just not that type of person. I feel like sometimes I'm too nice, but you know what I mean? Like, let me know if there's just anything where you're like, things that make you go, So I hope you guys are all doing well, and thanks for sticking with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.